Welcome back to the Money Healing Club podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Duncan. I'm a financial therapist, art therapist, and founder of the Money Healing Club. It's a special place for financial therapy experiences, from a membership to group classes, individual work, and courses. To become better friends with your money from the inside out, check out moneyhealingclub.com. Reminder that this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not replace mental health care or financial advice. Before we dive in, I want to make a quick note. This episode is really different. I'm so excited to share it with you. This is a conversation, but not an expert interview. This is actually a real, unscripted coaching session with me and an anonymous person, Ali, who you'll meet, with a unique story to tell. So you'll hear all of the pauses, the processing, the emotion, the complexity as this session unfolds in real time. It's a taste of what financial therapy coaching with me looks like, with full permission from my guest to share it. I want to mention a trigger warning, or a few trigger warnings. This conversation touches on the intersection of money with politics, religion, specifically Islam, and the cultural norms of where my guest is from, Pakistan, where the risks of being seen, breaking from tradition, can be quite high. There are references in this conversation to political, gender, and religious violence. So please take care of yourself as you listen. This conversation came about from Ali reaching out to me to learn more about financial therapy, and our first call was so open and thoughtful and unexpected. I asked if we could record, or if he'd be willing to have a recorded conversation and share a version of it while keeping his identity protected for safety. And he was really excited to help more people remove the layers of shame around money by sharing our talk. Ali runs his family business of manufacturing plastic packaging in Pakistan. He's also an emotional intelligence coach, neurolinguistic programming practitioner, and a youth counselor. What you'll hear in this conversation is someone navigating deep push-pull experience with money that you might relate to. There's this tension between going towards and restricting, visibility and safety, success and shame. Also, what is Ali's hobby? Rejecting compliments. That feels pretty universal, huh? We explore how his moral environmental consciousness can impact his earning, in his case, running a plastics business, while also questioning its impact and needing to make a living. I think you'll hear a perspective on money here that sometimes might feel different from your own and other times deeply familiar. It just shows how we all really deserve a place to have a non-judgmental conversation about money. One quick ask: if you know anyone who works in packaging or sustainable manufacturing in Southeast Asia who could support Ali with executive leadership and maybe a business community, I'd really love to connect him with those resources. So you can reach out, email me directly, howdy@moneyhealingclub.com, or through my website, and I can connect you privately with him. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, we are not here to judge. We are here to understand and connect with what's real. And this conversation is a beautiful one. And it's also very funny and light. It's not as heavy as I might have made it out to seem. I'm really proud to share it with you. So let's talk about what we don't usually say when we talk about money, culture, and being seen with Ali. Welcome to the Money Healing Club podcast. I'm so glad to have you, and thank you for telling us a little bit about your story about money. As this is sort of a different type of episode where we're going to have a conversation with you, like a regular person, also that's in a country that is not the country I grew up in, and we can just have a really open dialogue about what money's been like for you and is like for you. Also give our listeners a little taste of sort of what a first session with me might be like. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me for your session. And I come from a country that's called Pakistan. Not very rare. It's rarely heard about, but the social cultures that we are brought up with is more like a scarcity mindset. Childhood only, we are taught that money does not grow on trees, and such hardcore beliefs that you got to work hard to actually make money. And uh, it's been like 6 years now. I'm on my healing journey that I did understand humanistic behaviors and a lot of emotional intelligence, which I now understand would should have been
Yeah.
taught to us as children.
Yeah.
Those tools that I literally had to go and handpick them myself. They are basic navigation tools that should have been given to us at childhood. But anyhow, I'm thankful that I did get a lot on my journey, and there still are blockages which I feel that I personally feel that the money, it's more like an energy that I am attracting as well as resisting and pushing away.
Mm-hmm.
And that push I feel it's because of the childhood learnings that were taken from my caretakers and the surroundings and the beliefs that I made around them.
Okay, there, you've already brought up like so many points of tension and opposition, right? How you grew up versus what you're learning as an adult. How, wow, I could be one way with money this day and another way with money another day. Like there's so much dynamics that I'm hearing so many stories of a tension of things, two opposites existing at the same time. Is that something that you feel?
Yeah, I feel it all the time. It's like
Yeah.
a push and a pull from within. It's
Mm,
more like my inner gut has a resistance that I don't deserve. And an inner desire that too is coming from the heart, which wants it and says and claims it too, that no, I this all belongs to me.
mm. So, one
And
hand, this does belong to me. I'm attracting wealth. This makes sense. And the other, equally strong voice is saying, I don't deserve this.
yes,
Money should not be easy. There should be more pain and struggle.
absolutely. There should be more. You've not been through enough pain and struggle that you deserve what is there.
Ooh, okay, hang on. I have not been through enough pain and struggle to deserve. Did you say what's there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof,
Undeserved
that feels
peace.
old. This feels very old.
And my body is, I can feel the temperature rise in my body. And I don't
Yeah,
know, although it's the winters over here,
yeah.
but still I'm starting
Okay, feel
to.
your temperature. Yeah, there's some heat, right? If you feel safe, we can just notice that. Your nervous
Yeah.
system is like, I don't know about this conversation. This is not something we talk about. Could you like let me know a little bit about what is it like in Pakistan just talking about money or personal finance? Like what are some of the traditions or and specifically with your family? 'Cause I'm sure there's a huge variety.
Okay. The tradition over here, I would say, is people show off a lot. It's a
Mm,
show off society. Even if you don't have it, you just for the validation and for the accreditations, you got to show that you have a lot. People take cars on rent and say, propose that, oh, this is my car, and just to get that validation. But it's all fake within. So it's inside they're an imposter, and they're just. But at the end of the day, who are they fooling? They're fooling themselves, and they're
gotcha. So
getting
there
that.
again a real difference. What I show in the world might not have anything to do with what's going on the other side. Yeah, and from um, I've shared this on the podcast before. I was a religion major, and a good chunk of my studies was in Islam. Did you grow up in an Islamic family?
Oh yes, my
Yeah.
entire family was extremely religious.
Okay.
My father, he gives sermons, and my mother too. They both give in the English language, and they have their own followers and community.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was brought up in an extremely religious, upbringing, and I literally had a beard till I was 26 some years, after which I explored the other side. I broke the standards of following blindly, and I started to question. That's when I realized the backlashes that I started to get. and I had to make and navigate my ways with much more, caution. I
Yeah.
had to be much more at caution.
It can
Yeah.
be unsafe to be different. Yeah, you have a more clean shaven face now, and even that, it sounds like a huge act of rebellion.
Okay. Yeah. Clean shave is not too much now because it's more acceptable in the
Okay.
society. But questioning why is a very big, no in this country. We are
Yeah.
neighboring with Afghanistan and Iran, all the Islamic religious countries. And over here, people do get, uh, they have to lose their life if they actually
Yeah.
cross. Yeah. I don't know if
Wow.
you're aware of Salman Taseer. He was a big time politician, and in support of a Christian woman in the name of blasphemy who was killed, he just used a few statements, and his own security guard shot him down
Mm.
in the name
Oh,
of religion. So it was very sad.
I appreciate you describing these stories and how this shapes a culture of, breaking with standards, doing something different than your family, um, is not just scary, it can be dangerous, and you have to be so careful with it. And and how I'm presenting to the outside world, right? That's like a real protection versus what's going on inside. There might be very different things. It sounds like you yourself are on your own journey, breaking with tradition, which takes a ton of guts. And I'm imagining you must work really hard to kind of separate these two things so that you can be safe.
Yeah, it's like you got to keep a facade just to keep yourself alive.
Yeah.
That you cannot be a true, authentic self 100%.
Oof.
And the one who actually starts saying that out loud gets shot and
Yeah.
taken down. But then again, we've learned how to navigate in the best of
Yeah.
interest for ourselves. 20,
Yeah.
30, 40 years of our lives we've been navigating. And at times, a lot of people just give in and then they start following the others. Whereas few people like me, either they leave the country, or the ones who are actually staying in our country, they're living dual lives. They have their
Yeah.
own set of friends who they can talk openly with, and then there is the public out there at large. You got to be very, very
Yeah.
careful and mindful.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I appreciate hearing that a lot. Um, Could you tell me, could you describe an early experience with money? Like maybe from childhood or teenage years? Something personal to you.
Okay, so I was brought up in a joint family, and I'll share an experience that I remember vividly. Like a toddler used to come, one chocolate of Toblerone. It used to get divided into three or four because we were 13 members in that house.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what, Rachel? I till date, I have a whole Toblerone, but I don't get the taste that I used to get in that one bite of Tobler.
Okay, so setting the scene, someone who brings in the Toblerone? Like who brought that?
It was my grandfather most of
Okay.
the time.
So
Yeah,
grandfather brings the big stick, and then is it
yeah,
broken up between all the children?
it's it's a proper knife is used so that they're
Mm.
broken up into smaller pieces, and then after counting that the toddler is smaller than the number of people, so that is further sliced up and then distributed to smaller children.
Gotcha. And what was your experience of that chocolate at that time?
Oh, they were really, really delicious. We used to fight for that, and it was like a fun time thing. And now, after so many years, we moved out and things like that, and now we can buy our own full one Toblerone per person. But then again, the taste of that Toblerone, it's actually, now I feel that it's the first bite that actually gives us the taste. After
Hmm.
that, how many ever Tobblers you keep munching is just an extra calorie going onto your fat.
Well, I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking it could be that it did taste better in your childhood because I think the standards of chocolate has changed. I mean, I'm no expert, but I also think it probably did taste a little bit better, or it might have. But yeah, isn't it interesting when we're like that first experience is can be so high key, like you said, the first bite or something when you're young, and it's the first time your brain gets so excited about that new thing. But then what's happened is your brain learns, and so that the next time, even as an adult, you get that Toblerone and your brain's already prepping for that high
Mm,
experience, and actually kind of starts to intentionally mute the experience, which is really interesting. And then it's like, oh, this is there a little bit of a letdown then when you get a chocolate now?
not a letdown, but it does take me back in the memory and how we used to, fight for those chocolates, and maybe at times snatch from the smaller child and pop
Mm-hmm.
it down.
Right? Like you said at the beginning, like this scarcity thing, like there's not much of it. There's only this one chocolate bar. It's such a small piece, or they don't, it brings out a different side of us when it feels like there's just not enough to go around. And sometimes that's literally the case. There's not enough to go around.
Mm, yeah, that's where the scarcity mindset is set. Very true.
Yeah, yeah. It's a powerful memory also because it's not directly about money. And then in some ways it kind of is. Like, do you feel like this experience with the Toblerone in your family was it kind of indicative of other ways money was handled?
Uh, but as I'm thinking, I remember that at times we were given chocolates, saying that, okay, don't say this to your brother. This is only for you, and it's gonna be a secret. Now, after so many years, I have a nephew by my name, Ali,
Mhm.
and he had come the other day. I gave him 1,000 rupees, Pakistani, just because he had done something. I was like, you're not going to tell this to your mom or your brothers and sisters? No, 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 I cannot say that. Otherwise, they will take it from me. And I'm like,
Mm,
shit, that is so deeply embedded
mm,
that maybe not even take it from me, but they will have an evil eye. As in, it's a
mm,
word called Nazar in
mhm.
Pakistan. It's called an evil eye, that somebody looking at your will give you an evil eye and might get destroyed.
Wow, right. Even if it's not about the money itself, but like they will
Yeah.
see me in a way.
Yes.
This will change their perception of me. That's really interesting about family secrets. And even like
Yeah.
sealing the deal with the chocolate of the family secrets. Oh, that's
Mm.
and I can understand, right? You can understand the survival. Like there are some things you don't want let out. Um, and then, but then the weight that puts like on a kid, right? We don't talk about
Not
that.
only the weight, it's like how I observed it is that it was a moment of pleasure and joy that he received a bonus or money for something good that he did. But he has to have shame and then pressurize it with some kind of, no, no, I should not be showing this. It's something bad. If I show it, it'll go away. So that entire emotion of happiness, joy, sharing a good news with your family is all gone.
I think it's so interesting. Also, you brought this recent thing, right? You're a grown man. Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 43 now.
Right, you're 43 now, and like, oh, you're seeing this play out as you've been doing your own kind of internal work, and this experience with your nephew has it brought up like, how would you have liked that conversation to go? Like, what would you wish for him when he receives
I
money?
Okay, I was just taking that direction so that I could know what is in the family that was encoded in our brains as a
Yeah.
child. And I wish that it could be much more open, where you don't have too many secrets or shushing about victories, and instead of feeling that the other person will have an evil eye on my victories, celebrate that and not let the other person be jealous about it.
And it sounds like I want that to be safe. I want it to be safe to share a pleasurable thing, to share a victory. I feel like there's a story of safety, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not safe with your siblings, who else can you be safe with?
Yeah.
Now, I realize that my mindset of not showing my victories, my certificates, any kind of achievement that I ever did, I used to just come back home, keep it in the cupboard, and not share it with others. That's when I started to tap in, and okay, this was the reason that, There's a lot of shame and other emotions embedded with it.
These layers. Now, it's interesting when we experience a feeling like some pride, but if or happiness or fear or whatever it is, some pure emotion. But then if there's a layer of shame, I shouldn't be feeling this. What happens is then that feeling gets associated with shame, right? The shame kind of embeds that emotional experience with a real color. It kind of makes it sticky. And it's when shame is in the room with any other experience, oof, it just gets it kind of solidified in this way of like, this is really hard to work with. Am I allowed to feel that feeling? Because the shame taught us we're not allowed to feel that feeling. And it's probably protective, right? Like you said, like it's literally it's life threatening to be different, to be seen in certain ways, to be breaking with tradition. So I see this all. It's a very complex interplay, isn't it?
Mm. It is so complex with so many emotions enmeshed together
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stripping each emotion separate and then evaluating, oh, this pure emotion is not very easy, especially maybe
yeah,
at this age. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think about. Oh, wait, how old is your nephew? I'm curious. He's like,
Sorry, go on, please.
how old is your nephew?
My nephew is 7.
Oh, okay, yeah, quite young. And yeah, so many of our money beliefs are formed by age 8, is what the research says. And so it's like, okay, he's learning these things. Look what he's already learned. And then also, he has maybe a slightly different experience with this one uncle and might start broadening, right? Not encouraging him to do anything unsafe, but like, oh, that's interesting, right? That uncle had a different type of money conversation with me, right? That sets the wheels in motion for maybe a different experience with money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember there used to come these type of angels in my life also when I was a child, and I used to be surprised that, oh, these people, do they actually exist? But then when I used to go to my caretakers and share the entire experience, the only answer was that, oh, these people do drama. I'm like, okay, these are the ones who do drama. And later on, I found out who were the ones actually doing the drama.
Interesting. What do you mean by drama?
Well, by drama is like uh, they are saying something and feeling something otherwise.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
dichotomy.
Kind of sort of manipulation, or not quite.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And I used to wonder why would they be manipulating? They're being so honest, they're being so cutthroat, and the most unusual answers. They were the authentic people and the ones who were my caretakers unmindful because they also did not know better. Had they known anything better, they would have performed in that manner.
Of course, we're all doing the best we can in that moment. And sometimes it's upholding traditions that it's sort of, maintaining the tradition that so that we're all known, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah, not only maintaining the position, it's actually you've said something for so many years and now you cannot
Yeah.
back out and say no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
That is
Oh
one thing that
no.
keep continuing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay, fast forward to more recent times. With you as an adult, could you tell me a little more if there's maybe an example recently where you felt this push and pull with money? Like part of me wants to attract it, part of it is pushing it away. Tell me, is there an example where that came up?
The only example that I can come up right now is the expenses. I
Mm,
went on a holiday to Malaysia. Although internally I felt, no, I don't have the finances. I can't do it. I know I'll not be able to pull it up, take my kid. I've got 2 kids, teenagers,
mhm,
and they were the ones who initiated the plan, and I did not know how it got executed, went through, had the most wonderful time, and came back. I never thought that I will be able to pull it off,
wow.
but thankfully it went like a very easy thing. So internally, I feel that okay, the push and pull. If I have to word it, I feel okay. There's this business. that I am already into with my family business. And as soon as I get closer to getting a contract, suddenly it disappears. And it
Well,
disappears like it never existed.
now what
The client,
disappeared?
the client's order, the the entire thing. Okay. So and the push, why is that coming? It's like I feel that internally, on this healing journey, I realized that plastics is one thing that is ruining the world.
Mm, mhm.
And my business is of manufacturing plastic products.
Yeah.
So me executing a new business deal gets disappeared.
So you're
Whereas
saying,
I,
okay, there's almost like a subconscious thing, like I'm not sure I'm really
yeah,
behind what I'm selling, but I have to because this is my business, and like I can't.
exactly,
That is
and
what it is.
I'm consciously, logically working at it,
Yeah.
getting the person to the deal, like right bang on. The rates are final, everything is done, and last minute, boom, the customer says, I don't want it anymore. I'm like, what happened?
And you're kind of
Just
wondering, am I part of that not happening? Did part of me block it from
yes,
happening? Is that the question?
yes, yes.
Mm.
I feel that it is my inner core value, maybe, that plastics is not good for the universe, and I don't know, we're not using plastics in a very healthy manner.
Mhm. In your
No
quiet
recycle system.
moments, yeah, do you have some ideas about how it could go differently? Obviously, this is on your
Yeah.
mind. Like,
This
how could you
this is
see? I
one
mean,
of
I don't know anything about the plastics industry. So maybe you could teach us, like, yeah, what direction could it go with what you know that would feel a little more aligned?
Okay, so this is very, in a very fetal state. Like yesterday only, I thought over it, how to come up with a better way to actually navigate through this.
Hmm.
It's like there are better sustainable ways that only a person who is dedicated can get into, which is either recycling, adding different additives, which makes it more biodegradable and much more healthier for this planet, and it can, destroy on its own.
Hmm.
So this is what I'm. It's in a very basic state that I'm putting in more in incubating the idea of finishing the resistance, that at least I'm making a difference for the universe over here.
Mm. So you're saying like the technology exists. You kind of have some ideas of how it might happen. It would be, I'm guessing, a pretty big change in business though to implement some of
Oh
this, or would
yes,
it be?
definitely.
Yeah.
It would be a very big shift because 95% of the industries over here are not using any kind of sustainable ecological ways because it is expensive.
Yeah.
It is an extra cost. And neither the government is giving any kind of subsidy or assistance that could make it more sustainable.
Yeah.
So I am trying to navigate myself, making letters so I can submit in the government to make it more viable, reduce the taxes, duties, so that
Hmm.
a shift starts happening, and maybe then my own resistance fades down, and I
Yeah,
feel
that's,
that I'm putting in something for the
yeah,
thing.
there'd be a cultural shift, wouldn't there?
It would be a big cultural shift. Yes.
Yeah.
So far, plastic is just being either burnt or dumped in the as a landfill or the sea.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just put it plainly. That's what's happening. There's been a lot recent news in the States of the last few years because, there's all these recycling programs and pretty much plastic is not recycled. And that we're all sorting our stuff. And then it's, yeah, just like you're saying, often it's shipped to Asia and there it
Yeah.
sits.
Mhm.
Very rarely, like other materials are pretty, I've heard are recycled more. And yeah, plastics, they do sit there and there needs to be a cultural shift. I think this is really interesting. What a point of tension you're in, Ali. Like in the present day moment, we got to sign these contracts so that your business can keep running, so that you
Mhm.
can make the change later.
Exactly.
But it's that classic phrase of means to an end, isn't it?
I
Mm.
agree.
Hmm.
But, uh, but but is there a better way to navigate, as
Yeah.
in lessen the volume that is coming from within
Hmm.
the the codependency that I am on my inner critic.
Mm-hmm. Could we talk to that inner critic a little bit?
Ah, no, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't respond so well, maybe.
That's all right.
It's too manipulative.
There's too many which?
It's too manipulate. The inner voice is too manipulative, so it doesn't
Mm,
come out too much in the open.
yeah.
Although I want it to come out and be straightforward the way it is.
Oh, yeah, but that's not how it works because it wants to
Yeah.
sneak in. It doesn't really want to be known. It wants to have the mask of truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We could just notice it. It's probably there. It's probably there.
Mm.
You'd
Mhm.
like to do something different. And to kind of like back up and take a whole view of what you've shared already is doing something differently than the norm. I mean, it's hard for anyone, but particularly where you are, it's there's even a edge of danger breaking the
Yeah.
norm. You've done it with your family, you're doing it, you're looking at doing it with your business,
Mm.
and there's a vulnerability there. I'm wondering.
Something's coming up for me. I would like to
Yeah,
share this. That
please.
uh, there are most of the people in this world, they enjoy the safe, the norm. Whereas me, if there's a new business idea, new business project, I would be interested in going there, starting it, and then returning back, saying that, oh, I've done my part, and I just retract.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how do I complete the cycle and make it self-sustaining and then leave, or maybe keep an eye on it monthly basis.
Well,
So
is it your responsibility to do all those parts?
not my responsibility to do all the parts, but if I'm initiating something and completing the entire thing and not abandoning it midway, because
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing with I've like started five businesses in between and abandoned them midway, like not midway, taking it to a place where people are praising me like anything. Oh, you did a fantastic job. And I'm like, oh, that's not me. I just
Mm. Who?
so
Yeah.
yeah, like not liking praises has been my favorite pastime. Like anybody saying,
What's your
anybody,
hobby? Rejecting compliments.
yeah, it's like I could deflect the every compliment that I would get. It's like, oh, this was not me. It was just
Yeah.
the luck.
I'm thinking a few things here. I think all of us have different strengths. I do think there's some folks out there where the strength is starting things, the innovators. And I
Hmm.
think this is a huge generalization and probably not true in every case, but I think some of the folks who are innovative, who have the new ideas, are
Yeah.
not really the ones to execute and carry it through because it gets kind of boring. I think there are
Hmm.
other people who love coming in, taking an idea and making it work, right? The more I don't know what you say, like that type of person, there's that strength as well, right? I think that there are different strengths. I think when we sometimes we think we need to do the whole arc of a business development. I don't know if it's a solo venture. It's just a question from what I've seen out in the world of businesses.
Yeah, I do understand that there are strengths that we have, and then there are some things that we're not good at.
Mm-hmm.
So we can attach teams with us for fulfilling that. But but then if you are the main person who is initiating it, and then it's my responsibility to take it through and attaching those right people and not abandoning it midway.
Right, that
That
leadership.
yeah, that leadership role and that responsibility. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel that yes, this has been one of my weakness, that I used to run away from responsibility.
Mm. And then how interesting. You're a leader of a company with new ideas. Oh, isn't that
Yeah.
funny how life works out? Like you are in now a position with your family business to have
Mm,
the opportunity to make changes, or you could maintain status quo.
yeah.
and there's a tension there, right? Well, maintaining status quo would, grow the company as it is. It would be more predictable. It would be in line, expected, or do something new, which both I get praise for and I freak out of it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you just summed it up so well, which is why I'm not doing anything new.
Mm.
And bringing it to that peak where I know that now the praises would start coming in with more force, I quit.
Mm. Mhm. 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 Do you have like any? I'm wondering if you have relationships in your life with other entrepreneurs. Do you have?
Sorry?
Are you able to have these conversations with other entrepreneurs, maybe even globally?
Okay.
Do you have? Are you in touch with anyone who's? I know there's many people who are in a similar
Oh, yes.
situation.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do have a lot of friends that are entrepreneurs
Hmm.
and they're beginning. And yeah, I say that huh, that's a very good question. It's not something that I am pleased with, maybe. Some kind of dislike for that entrepreneur.
Hmm.
Now, this is
Hmm.
the first time I'm thinking about it that you asked me. It's like, wow, I should be more compassionate and empathetic with them.
Possibly, and also like that. There's maybe a you can be choosy about the folks you want to share this with. It just seems like it's it could be a really interesting thing to be part of community with other folks who are kind of, everyone's on their own path, but kind of have this overlap of growing a business and taking those risks and all of the both excitement and resistance that they feel.
Mhm.
That you're not alone in that, and just having a place to kind of process that could be really useful. To kind of, I think what's tough is when we feel alone. We're doing this on our own. We get the old shame coming in, which often exists when we're dealing with something by ourselves. Um, it's really easy to to get really stuck there. And I'm just such a firm believer. The business communities I'm part of have been so key for my growth, and not because of like any education necessarily or a lesson, but just that there are just other entrepreneurs, and we're talking about like I just got off a call this morning. We're talking about like, oh, email sequence. How much emailing is too much? And like the emotional stuff with like emailing. And like, I think it's
Mm.
so important that we can share this stuff so that we're not carrying it. Like, and it seems from just the bit I know of you that this kind of, compassionate, kind, verbal processing seems to work for you. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I see. Having a community and being able to share your work and maybe daily routine with the
Yeah.
person is
Hmm.
very important. And then
Yeah.
again, the inner uh, inner beliefs of if I share too much with friends or people, they will have an evil eye
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or they will have the energy of jealousy coming towards you and they will not like it is also very hard wired within. I don't know how to release that too.
Hmm.
Although on the surface level, intellectually, I know, but at times I was like when I see my daughter's picture, like, oh, nazar lag jayegi, Baba. You should don't have to post it. I'm like, oh, why? You look so beautiful. We should put it, but no, nazar lag jayegi.
I'd love to know more about what, when you think about the evil eye, what is its job?
What is the drama?
What is its job? Like, what is it
Okay.
responsible for? What is the evil eye concerned about?
Mm, protection
Protection from what?
from a disaster, from
Mm.
somebody uh, sending a negative vibe and destroying it.
Mm. Do you feel like there's a source of truth, or maybe even historically, that there's some truth there?
No, I don't believe that there's any such truth, but yeah, there are negative and positive energies that people can emit. And then that negativity, if I'm not well guarded with my own positivity, then it will affect me and add on to my negativity.
Right? There's so much with the evil eye, it sounds like, right? How we see each other, how we can so easily hurt or help each other just by one
Mhm.
turn of opinion or one bit of
Mhm.
gossip. Kind of speaks to
Yeah.
like how social we are.
That way, with the fear of that evil eye, your social life finishes. Even with your family, you're not hiding things. Like
Mm,
with your real brother, you're not showing things. with your with your parents, you're hiding. So then, ah who else is if your parents and your siblings are going to have an evil eye on you, then who are you going to
mm,
protect yourself from?
friendly people on the internet. This conversation right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, oh, this cultural stuff is so important. I want to also like give such like respect for where this came from, right? This is it sounds like a tool, a cultural tool for, it sounds to me like at the heart, please correct me if I'm wrong. Like it's kind of like, watch what you do, watch what you say. This can have real impact on others.
Yeah, it was initially what I feel in religion. It was bought for a very positive reason, and the meaning for it was very nice. That okay, if somebody doesn't have a mother, don't praise your mother in front of that child, because that child will feel, you know, start to miss their mother. So if somebody is deprived of something, don't show off your stuff in front of them.
Right.
And if you're going to do the same thing with your siblings, that's unfair. That is what I feel is unfair.
Right. I really appreciate talking about like, okay, the source of this or aspects of this are really, in, hey, we want to help people feel safe. Not only, for that child who might have, lost a parent, like so that they feel safe with me, so that they feel
Yeah.
connected, right? That's actually, there's a big part of that. And it has, you know, like you said, kind of both negative and positive.
Mm.
And I'm wondering about, yeah, the evil eye and when that comes up for you. Like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do that because the evil eye.
Mm.
Because something's trying to protect me.
But how will that protection go away? By not sharing it?
Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
I've even seen a few videos where they say don't share your plans or your successes with people, because they the plans stop. And that's what I also realized, that before actually becoming a full-fledged business, my abandoned businesses ventures had reached a place where I started praising about it. Okay, I did this, and this is the products that I've launched, and this and that. That's where I started to get the praise. Oh wow. And I started
Yeah.
finishing that.
Do you
Keeping
think
that in mind,
there was a bit of the evil eye turned to you in those moments?
not actually an evil eye, but maybe this is what the religion wanted to tell us, that okay, don't count your chickens before they're hatched, and don't
Mm,
say too much about your chickens, so that your own interest reduces. Maybe
yeah.
that's the reality.
That is so interesting when there's a stage in business or a lot of these things where, well, it has to, you have to let people know about it, right? Like you
Yeah.
can't keep it secret. You can't keep a business secret forever. That's
Mm.
interesting. I'm wondering about this division that keeps coming up between like what we show the world and what's really going on inside. We all have it at a certain point, right?
Mm.
Sometimes it's more, black and white than others. I'm wondering for you, like honoring the fact that what I show on the outside and what I bring show inside, it's okay, it's a little different. But I want to know that. Like, there are times where the outside is a little different than the inside, right?
Yeah.
But does it always have to be a struggle? Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Doesn't have to always be a struggle. There can be a smoother boundary. That's where boundaries come in. I feel this subcontinent of Asia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, we're not taught boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And the first people who ramp these boundaries are the parents, because they start touching the rights from the children. You don't have your own authority. You don't have your own space where you keep your stuff and it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And you later find out that some unmindful caretaker needed it and they took it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're completely unapologetic about it as well.
So you mean kind of like shared property? Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Because there's a couple things happening. Both what's yours is mine and mine is yours, and we have secrets you don't tell. Like there are boundaries there.
Mm. Oh, you have bound, yeah. And if you do not respect their boundaries, you are going to get penalized for it
Mm.
for long.
So in the way
Yeah.
that is a form of boundaries, right? And it's different. Um,
It's like it's like a cult, and the leader of that cult, irrespective right or wrong, you got to follow him.
mhm. Mm. Which for some folks gives some comfort. Oh, there's clarity there. I just do what he says. Is there
But then,
safety and clarity there?
yeah, there
I'm not
is
saying it's
safety in
right. I'm
clear.
just saying that's why those things happen.
Mm, mm, mm.
But not for everyone. It sounds like you have always been a little more of an independent thinker. Would you say that's true?
I do agree, but I have not always had faith on myself and given my right to make a choice to others where I failed miserably. But now I realize I've got to take my own choices, and I do take my own
You do, yeah.
independent. Yeah.
Oof. You know, do you have like we have these migratory birds, these geese in the Americas? Do you have geese in Pakistan? I don't even
Yeah,
know. The
we
fly in
do get
flocks,
geese. Yeah, 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 yeah. We
and
do get
they
those geese.
they fly in a V, and
Yeah,
the
when they're flying.
head goose, it's like the most work, right, to be at the front of the V.
Mhm.
And they trade out, they swap out because they can't be the head. I'm sure there's a better term for it, but you can't be the head goose all the time because it's exhausting to be the first,
Okay.
And I'm wondering about that metaphor for you is like being the first is important and having some different thoughts and trying new things, right? It's also hard to do all the time because it is tiring. It is tiring to make your own map when you're doing
Mm,
something new. Um, and there might be times where you're the second or third goose. Right, and knowing that it's not always right, that there's like a dynamic shift. I find this too, right? I'll go through a sprint of like putting together a new offer or doing something new, and then whew, I just need to do maintaining for a little while. I think learning our own rhythm with that is really important because I'm wondering about, you get a new idea and it also gets exhausting, and then you get the praise and it kills it, right?
mm.
And you back up and then maybe you're second or third goose for a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, wow, wow, wow. It seems like a lot of chains have just
Oh,
broken.
oh good. Nothing like a good metaphor sometimes.
It's a lot of release. I
Mm,
was putting myself under a lot of pressure for being the head geese, albatross maybe. And I now realize that it's always shifting.
yeah,
It's just that
yeah.
I'm not observing. I'm just being too mindful of when I'm being put in the spotlight.
Hmm.
What about the times that I am the one who is second in command or the third? It's not always the
Yeah.
driving force that matters, it's the pushing force that matters too.
Yes. And that like we
Hmm.
can't sprint a marathon. sometimes.
Yeah.
And, I think that we talk about like our relationship with money, and it sounds like also you have this relationship with business, with your business. And like
Mm.
when people are praising it, would it help to be like they're praising that thing, this business, that
Just a
I'm the
facilitator.
thing it's flowing through. It's not me, it's the business. That's what they're praising, not me, but that thing.
Wow. Wow.
With that.
Yeah.
So if we were to continue this
Mm.
conversation, what I might give you a little bit of homework is to
Okay.
is to do a little bit of writing to your business, right?
Okay.
Or to this, you said, this little fetus of an idea. And
Yeah.
that you're in relationship with it. It's actually not yours. I don't think ideas are ours. I think it's a thing. It's like a spirit that wants to exist, and it came to you, right?
Okay.
What do I do next? Little baby idea. What do you need from me? What are you worried about, right? Like it's its own thing. And I wonder about separating yourself from the business idea could be very
Mm.
powerful for it to keep changing and staying with it. And when you receive positive feedback that, oh, this project got the feedback,
Mm.
this creature,
Baby.
maybe even making some artwork or journaling with it, that you are the steward. You're the
Wow.
steward of this business. It's not you. You're the steward.
Mm.
And I'm wondering if that protects you from that hypervisibility.
It just shifts my own perception to see. Yeah. And it does. It already makes me feel powerful that, yeah, it's just the praises are meant to go. So it is going through me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of shame attached to, I don't know, praise
Yeah.
and being seen. Being
Yeah.
seen is actually the word that is coming.
Being seen. And there's a double thing there. Like we want to be seen and oh, we don't. Like at the same time. Do you feel like it's a little bit of both?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
To be seen. Well, I might give you a little bit of homework to reflect on. Okay. First
Okay.
step is connecting to your business ideas and your business as its own entity, as its own thing that you're stewarding. And this could be through writing, through making some artwork. I think it's interesting to really look at all of the aspects of being seen, because that's not right or wrong, but it seems to
Mm.
trigger a danger response for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which, and
I
let's
agree.
honor that. That makes sense. It sounds like given your culture, you're given lots of warnings. It's dangerous. It can be dangerous to be seen.
But how do I release that fear? It's an illogical fear that is
Yeah.
embedded since childhood, maybe.
Well, what I wonder is it totally illogical?
I'm
Like,
not a,
are there
okay.
any social consequences of being seen? Like real ones?
Hmm, that's a good one. I before this conversation, I used to think only women have consequences of being seen because they had to be covered, the wheels,
Yeah.
and if they are seen by a male, they're supposed to be burned in hell and things like that. But males don't have such restrictions.
Sure.
But now that I'm saying there are, yeah, if you're caught with another woman, you're seen with another woman, that is also not acceptable in an extreme society.
For
Not
sure.
that karate is very extreme, it's not that extreme, but yeah, in a very extreme society, that could be the road to being punished.
Very unsafe. I
Yeah.
mean, okay, this is like a very academic question that I don't have the credentials to answer or even get into. But like, do you think men in Pakistan have an invisible hijab? Like,
Wow.
you're
Wow.
not
Oh,
wearing one, but it seems
yeah.
there.
Yes. Oh shit. That's what closet people are for.
Oh no, we figured it out. You're like, hey, I talked to this white lady in Denver. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Because
Men
there's
are also
so,
very
yeah, because you're saying like, oh, I have to show off my, wealth or what I can do, and that's different from the inside. Where considering the evil eye about what I can and can't do, there's so many rules about what you show versus what's inside, which is so much about that sacred divide between the outside and
sacred. I
inside
don't know
world.
what's sacred about that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
the sacred. It's
Yeah.
evil about hiding something.
Yeah. It's really tough. Yeah. I guess I mean, like I'm digging back into my studies about how the hijab defines the outside world from the home, the inside world, um, and how this plays out in so many like less tangible ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's like a whole ton of things.
I'm like getting hot too. Oh dear.
Oh my
Whew.
God.
I mean, it's the masks we wear. We all wear them,
Mm.
and it's
But then
adaptive. Yeah.
we're all wearing masks eventually at the end of the day.
Yeah.
This is the masked man society. And who are the real people then if we all are wearing masks?
Well, it's all real. It is real. I mean, we all have such real internal experiences. I think it seems like when is it safe for me to connect my interior experience with someone else's interior experience? Like, when can that be a safe thing? Because maybe it's maybe not safe with all people. I think we all learn that. Who is it safe with to let a little bit of my insides out? let a, so
Mm.
I and also let so I can see a little bit of their insides. That's like vulnerability and honest, open conversations like we're having right here.
Yeah.
They're
But
so
then
important.
but then do you think everybody deserves our honesty?
Mm,
Being honest.
it's a good question because it can be unsafe to be fully honest, can't it?
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then uh, how much of honest do we show out to the world? It's like
Yeah.
keeping it complete for their safety, not for ours.
Yeah. 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 I mean, mutual.
It's
Yeah.
both ways.
It does. It goes both ways. Can I bring it to this conversation? How has it been for you just talking with me, having this, talking about your interior experience with me? What's it been like?
I do feel safe with you, and which is why I'm being super
I'm
vulnerable.
so glad.
Although I know you're recording all of this, and I don't know, I've shared a lot, and I know that you're gonna, you know, do the right things. Whatever the universe has in for me, it will come.
Thank you for trusting me with it. I'm going to take very good care of your stories for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It can feel like a rush, I think, to have like vulnerable conversations and also,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, this is what I needed. This having a safe exchange. Um, there's, like you said,
Hmm.
I'm so glad you felt like that relief, like a bit of.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about your temperature. How's your temperature right now? You said it was coming up earlier.
It's still in the warmth, but
Yeah.
it's like a stable warm. I'm not
Yeah.
sweating anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Our nervous
Yeah.
system perceives any kind of threat as a physical threat. So, like, oh no, we're talking about money, or oh no, right? So we're like red alert. And I appreciate you stuck with it and stayed with the conversation and let it come down. Yeah. Well,
Thank
I've
you.
learned so much, Ali. I don't know a lot about Pakistan. I know just a little bit, very academically, about Islam, and I'm really curious what this conversation has just brought up for me, and I'd love to continue learning. And yeah, the masks.
Masks.
Yeah.
But thank you so very much for all the insight and the change that you just I say it's a release that I actually feel.
Oh, good.
And I believe it's gonna get installed in my body once I go to sleep at night
Oh,
in the
good. That's
morning.
right. It's evening for you. I hope you sleep really well. Get a little movement in. I think, especially when we have big insights, yeah, it kind of kicks all the dust up and gives some time to allow some changes to happen. And also, I just want to really validate the cultural stuff just doesn't change in a snap of a finger, and I don't think we're expecting it to here. Often they come from a source of safety, almost always. This is a protective thing.
Mm.
And I think noticing it, right? Noticing like, when is this a protective thing? When is it not quite serving me? How can I work with it and still feel safe? Because that's always going to be there. So there's probably going to be some middle ground, you know? And I really wish for your safety and also happiness. I mean, we talked about money and we also totally didn't. I think there's so much there. Ali, I have a question that I love asking all my guests at the end of our talks, which is, if you were to picture your money as a creature, what's the first image that comes to your mind?
Creature. I think I've always been inspired by the casher cat from
From Alice in
yeah,
Wonderland?
Alice in Wonderland.
The
Yeah,
Cheshire Cat. Okay, tell me about when you picture the Cheshire Cat as your money. What's it like?
I don't know. It's completely black. The background is black. The cat is black, but only when it opens its eyes, the twinkle.
Yeah.
It's like so bright that you got to wear glasses to actually witness those, glares.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. And what's the personality like?
It's it looks scary, yet it is it's like a seductress, something that is charming, beautiful, yet looks a little scary.
Not sure. Again, like these layers, right? Not feeling one way about it. Like there's something very approachable and a little wary.
Mm,
It sounds like it.
Maybe I've been wired that way since childhood that,
Mm,
okay, you want it and you don't. So I don't know
mm,
if I can actually separate this dichotomy, or
mhm,
even if I can't separate it, just having an understanding that it's going to be coming in
mhm.
both ways.
I think already when we notice the dichotomy, then already a third way comes about. You know, that it's not one or the other or none of it. There's maybe a third way. And when we notice, oh, I'm getting this push pull with money, how do I want to be? Maybe it's something different entirely that doesn't have to do with pushing and pulling.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I have always liked that state where I don't have to, it's just that my presence and my being there is a lot,
Mm.
and the the counting money business I run away from. I'm like, okay, that's your job. Please do it. I don't
It
like
doesn't
it.
have to be your job, you know.
Yeah,
I
not
think your
everything should
journey
be.
as a leader is going to be a really interesting one, and I want to hear about it. About, you know, when you're the goose at the head of the V and when you're not, and where your strengths really shine, which seems to be in innovation, and when just being honest about things that aren't your strengths. And it doesn't mean the whole thing has to fold. And I hope for you, and I'll send you some resources of maybe some business communities of really like a very compassionate, more like emotionally informed kind of place with other entrepreneurs who are in such a similar journey. I think you might find that very useful to help this not all be an inside thing. Um,
That'll be great.
yeah,
Thank you
I
so
think we all need that. Ali, thank you so much for letting me pick your brain and us having this incredible conversation. And I
much.
really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
It was all my pleasure. Thank you so very much, Rachel, for your time and finding my brain worthy to be picked up.
Totally. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Money Healing Club podcast. Here's the funny thing about podcasts, they are surprisingly hard to find. But once you find one that really speaks to you, you're totally in. I know it is for me. So, word of mouth is truly how small shows like this grow. Maybe you even found this one because someone shared it with you. So, I'm going to ask you to become a financial activist today. If this episode resonated, please send it to someone, a friend, a sibling, a colleague, your book club. I'm asking you to be the brave one who says, hey, there's something deeper going on with money for all of us. And who knows, your friends might think you're brave and maybe secretly very good at money. for sharing a podcast like this. You also may find a new layer opens up in your relationships. So thank you for sharing the podcast. And we are always looking for new listener questions and stories to feature on an upcoming episode. Go on over to moneyhealingclub.com/podcast, and there's a big orange button where you can record your story, your question right there from your phone or browser. I want to hear it. And if you're looking to get more support on your money journey, there's lots of other financial therapy goodness at moneyhealingclub.com, from group programs to courses to lots of other ways you can work with me. Thank you to Sydney Harbosky at sydneyharbosky.com for podcast production support. We are also a proud member of the Feminist Podcasters Collective, where creators like me are building podcasts in a better world together. I will see you next time.